Adults of Reddit, what is something you should have mastered by now, but failed to do so? Comment your answer below. Before we start, be sure to like and subscribe to be the first to know about new videos. Planning meals / eating healthy. Handwriting. It has gotten worse, not better, peaked at 4th grade. Housekeeping. I love having a clean house, but I'm bad at keeping it entirely clean all the time. My taxes. I'm 32 and my wife still insists on doing them. Even if I did do them, she would redo them to make sure it was perfect. Not letting stupid people's opinions bother me. I get so many ignorant comments that I don't engage with because I think they're a waste of time. But I think about them anyway. Forever. Feeling comfortable in social situations. Hug or handshake. I'm 44. I was taught the wrong way to tie shoes. My shoes always become untied unless I deliberately force myself to tie them the proper way. Going to bed and getting up at the same time every day in a consistent routine. Accepting a compliment. I'm giving an awkward response 10/10 times. Not procrastinating. Sleeping. Every time I bite my tongue or the inside of my cheek, I am reminded how I still have not mastered chewing after decades of chewing daily. Getting out of bed on the first alarm. Saran wrap. I just cannot get that bleep to work right. Calling companies that send me my bills, phone, electricity, internet, etc., and investigating why there was an increase in my payments or an additional charge. Basically that means I suck at confrontation. I'd rather sit back and just pay it than seek conflict and resolution even though I was in the right to do so. 36-year-old, can't whistle. Parallel parking. I can't tie a balloon once I've inflated it. Keeping my bedroom clean. Always thought as a kid that it just magically happened for adults. It doesn't. You still have to clean your bedroom even when you are 33. Writing a consistent signature. I just write my name like a 4-year-old. I am bad at conflicts. I never know when to start my side and when should I defend myself, even though I do have the argument for it. Also, I really need to sleep more. Playing my guitar, I guess. It has been sitting in my room for almost a decade, yet I haven't even learned how to strum some basic tunes. An impulse buy that had me fascinated for about 48 hours before I gave up. It still looks cool in my room, though. Laundry. I mean, I can put stuff in the machine and add soap and press a button, but there are so many other ways to remove stains and sort delicates and iron shirts and extra buttons that do whatever, and I don't understand it. My in-laws can bleach stuff. I have no idea how to use bleach without destroying everything in sight. Press start and the machine goes, that's what I know. Basic math. You think you know basic math until you're finger counting during a game of DD. Saying sorry and or getting defensive regarding things that I say that are not necessarily things to be sorry or defensive about. I'm not sure how to fix it and I think it's a confidence issue. Folding fitted sheets. I make my wife do it. Actually, let me rephrase that. I piss and moan about how hard it is until my wife comes in the room to make fun of me for being pathetic before taking it upon herself to do it for me. Talking with the opposite sex. It used to be a disaster 90% of the time, now it's 50-50, so I'm still nowhere near close to mastering it. I'll either behave like a normal person or like a caricature of myself, nothing in between. Also, I haven't mastered basic multitasking. Like driving and talking on the phone or with my passengers, for example. My brain just freezes and defaults to the most important activity, driving, while making sure to nod on occasion to seem like I'm paying attention to the noise. 40 in January. Driving a motor vehicle. Although I couldn't drive because of my disability, it should have been something that I mastered enough to get my license 20 years ago. There's reasons why I haven't. Friends' vehicular deaths, followed by an accident on my last test before getting my probationary license that put me into the hospital, but really, I just have no valid excuses. I understand the freedom and independence that you get when you have a license to cooking rice, eating without feeding my clothes, talking to people like a normal human, grocery budgeting, standing so incredibly still that I become invisible to the eye, cooking, making friendly conversations, socializing with people, being more tolerant toward others. Life. Looking around at all my friends around me who have gotten married, bought a house, started a family, and I'm still single. Kinda makes a guy wonder why life is so hard sometimes. 27. Still have no idea how to socialize and make friends or attract a mate. It's wearing on me. Feeling lonely and like a failure is a psychological wombo combo. I can't use chopsticks. I worked in an Asian restaurant for a year and still never picked it up. I can with the helpers though. Fixing things / home repair. Even with all the TV shows and YouTube, any home project is a disaster. Eyeliner. Those with the gift are sorcerers and I am jealous. Manual transmissions. Small talk. It's just supposed to be inane banter and I can't do it. Budgeting. I can't save money for bleep. Telling time on an analog clock. Especially when there are no numbers, but especially when there are no tick marks, but especially when the big hand and little hand are pretty much the same length. Being able to tell my left and right. Been told it's due to my dyspraxia but it's still embarrassing. Riding a bike, sounds pitiful but my point of view was either jogging or just drive a car. Making a phone call. I can't do it. My mom will be on her deathbed and I'll still be asking her to make phone calls for me. Mastering the technique of discreetly but firmly letting company know that it's time for them to leave when they stay too late. Detection of toxic people. Dating. I'm in my late 40s, so at this point I'm pretty sure I'm going to die alone. Oh well. Being responsible for everything. It takes me forever to wash dishes. Planning dinner and following that plan. Driving. Was so excited to turn 16 and get started. Then financial aspects kicked in. Ironing, I hate it. I'll just throw my wrinkled bleep in the dryer with a damp napkin and call it a day. I'm 24 years old, and have absolutely no idea how to cook for myself. Every meal I eat is purchased right then or is microwaved or baked. I do okay with breakfast, I can handle eggs, French toast, and bacon, but, boy oh boy, lunch or dinner the best I can do is cereal. Why am I like this? Buying a damn car. Seriously. It is such a confusing hassle. Maybe because I could never afford to buy a nice car, but it basically feels like gambling. I'm going to put up a chunk of cash in hopes that the car I end up with lasts long enough to be worth it. Everyone says to do research and buy the car you want, but I can only work with what's for sale and what I can afford. Of course I would like to buy a reliable and cheap car with almost no miles on it, but it seems like all I see on Craigslist are Jeep Wranglers with 200k miles. Oof. Being able to work 40 hours a week without wanting to die. 37. Driving, was learning when I met my ex, but he was controlling and financially abusive, so it went by the wayside. It's been 3 years since we ended and now it's a combination of being so used to not having my license and feeling anxious about it, so it still hasn't happened. Telling time with an analog clock and knowing how to do multiplication. Standing up for myself or apologizing when I do stand up for myself. I'm notorious for either letting people walk over me, or if I do end up standing up for myself and in the process happen to offend someone, I apologize for it. I wish at 31, I could be more assertive. Handwriting in general. It's embarrassing. Being on time. I'm the arsehole who is consistently right on time or behind by like 2 to 3 minutes. Folding the laundry. Washing and sorting it is easy. Once it gets out of the dryer, the laundry begins an inevitable journey through at least 2 different rooms, 2 different sort piles, maybe end up in a drawer, then at the foot of my bed, then back in the dirty laundry again. Maybe I have too many clothes. Drinking out of a glass. I still manage to spill down my face regularly. Flirting. It's not that I can't flirt well, I can't flirt at all. Telling me to go flirt with a woman is like telling a normal person to go levitate. How to do a cartwheel. I can't, and I'm 35. Grocery shopping, cooking and meal planning. Finally decided to do my shopping online and pick it up. It helps a ton, but I'm still learning. My cooking leaves a lot to be desired. You have been visited by Sad Cat. Like this video and subscribe to the channel to make Sad Cat happy again.